Welcome to Evening of Empowerment, the podcast for out-of-school time professionals, educators, and leaders who are passionate about growth, impact, and innovation in education. I'm your host, Richmond Brown, and the founder of Enrich by Richmond, where we're dedicated to inspiring leaders, elevating program quality, and creating enriching experiences for students and staff.
Welcome back. Welcome to Evenings of Empowerment. I know it's been a minute, but I really could not let another Thursday go by without bringing some empowerment. I've been thinking about you all every single day as the weeks have gone by, and I want to thank you so much for your patience for this new episode. I want to just say, again, I'm so happy that you tuned in to Evenings of Empowerment, and for those who are new, I want to let you know that this is a space where we elevate leadership, ignite purpose, and create ripples of impact in every directions we walk in. It feels so good to be back behind this microphone, just a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a lot more grounded. And in today's episode for me, it's not just about the return, it's about the reaffirmation. A reminder of why we lead, who we lead for, and most importantly, how we serve. And one thing that I've been able to do is really take time out to really take a moment to focus and center on how I serve as a leader. And for those who are in a space of being led, take a moment to think about how you would like to be led and how that can support you and how that leadership impacts you in your day-to-day. As I shared, I took some time over the last couple of weeks as, summer camp has been going on and all the different things in life have happened. I really took some time to really evaluate my leadership. In my leadership, I really identified that I am truly, when it comes down to the style, a servant leader. And when I think of leadership, it's not just, again, the fancy title. It's not saying that you oversee da-da-da-da-da. It is truly saying you have and hold a responsibility. It says that, you are able to build trust, and it's truly, for me, about still being able to, no matter how far you may grow in your role, in your career, that you're still able to roll up your sleeves and be able to get into the trenches with your people and be able to truly lift as you're climbing. Servant leadership means we don't just stand above our teams, we stand beside them. We walk with them and sometimes fall with them, but we always rise together. As I've developed in my leadership, I always say I've learned how to lead from the back, and this creates a space where my team not only just feels seen and valued, but most importantly, they feel safe because they know someone has their back. And when they start seeing your leadership style, they learn in the best ways from how you navigate from you leading authentically. And leading authentically can look differently for everyone. And again, because it is to you as an individual. So really learning who and how you are as a leader is so important. So as you lead, I have some questions for you. Ask yourself, does my team feel my presence in the everyday grind? Do they feel my presence in that everyday grind? Do they feel empowered to make decisions and to take ownership and to grow? And then ask yourself, do they feel seen? Not just for what they do, but for who they are. Ask yourself, does your team feel seen? As leaders, our job is to model growth, not just talk about it. Show them how to lead by the way you serve. Let your character be the blueprint, and let your consistency be the sermon. As leaders, you want to have meaningful impact. Again, you want to have that legacy over an ego. As leaders, we want to always ensure that we have that positive impact. And again, impact isn't just how loud your voice is in the room, it's about who's still echoing your influence long after you left the room. Meaningful impact of leadership to me, it means being intentional about the culture that you created. And so, thinking about a culture, you want a culture of learning, you want a culture of care, you want a culture of accountability, and you want a culture of not just belonging, but also becoming. I'll say that again for the people in the back. As leaders, we want to be intentional about the cultures that we're creating in our day to day workspace, with our teams, with everyone we lead. And in that culture, you want to make sure you curate a culture of learning, a culture of care, a culture of accountability, and a culture of belonging and becoming. It's in the small check ins, the ways we respond to failure, the grace we offer when someone's struggling, and the courage we demonstrate when we're the ones who struggles. Because truth is, we all fall. I'll say that again, we all fall. And I'll be the first to share. I've been in a place where I feel and I know what the knockdown can feel like. And I can honestly say that in those knockdowns, there are also comebacks. So let's talk about it. I'm going to be very mindful with the words that I choose, so y'all please work with me. Let's talk about this knockdown. The days that silenced your voice, the moments that shook your confidence, or maybe the setback that made you question, am I really built for this? And I've got the answer for you. Let me be the first to remind you, as I also remind myself. Yes, you are. You are built for this. You are built just for a time like this. And this is your season. And own it, walk in it boldly, and be confident in it. Because what matters is not how many times you fall, but how you rise. And I want to encourage you to continue to rise with grace and rise with confidence that is still inside you. It's not about rising for yourself, but it's also rising in a way that shows others the way up. I've always known and I've always shared that we don't go through the hell that we go through for ourselves. It's for the people who come up after us, and it's for us to be able to share their stories so that we're able to support others. So now let's talk about that comeback. I want to just let you know that your comeback is someone else's blueprint. Your healing is someone else's permission to begin theirs. The cracks, the trip, those setbacks in the journey, that's where the light gets in. That's where your leadership becomes real, it becomes human. It becomes human. It becomes relatable. It becomes real. I recently went through a conversation with a staff member where I had to remind myself that, again, like I said earlier, those experiences that you go through, sometimes they're not for you. Even though, yes, you have to be the one to go through it, but it's for you to be able to come out through it, to be able to share that story, to empower and support someone else maybe going through something similar. And this past week, I recently got to experience that where I had to have a conversation with a staff member, and I shared with them that again, the conversation was coming from a place of care first and foremost, but also from a place of wanting them to be able to grow, to continue to feel that they were in a space and they had that support to grow, even though this conversation may not be easy. But in that, I was able to share that I had gone through something similar. I had to learn how to, again, the same way I want to be digestible, I have to be willing to digest what others are saying. And so, in that, I always share, again, sometimes that feedback from people can support you in seeing those blind spots. And so, sometimes receive it to a place where how can I use this for my advantage? And in that, I shared with them because they stated some of the same exact words that I shared, that sometimes you have to navigate spaces with the judgment from others. And also reminding them that just because people smile on your face and people give you a nice little side hug, that doesn't mean that they're always rooting for you either. And in that, I reminded them that at the end of the day, all eyes are going to always be on them, and I'll say that all eyes will always be on you as an individual. And the biggest thing I will give is it's how you present and how your presence is that really matters. Allow people to judge, and at the end of the day, give them something grand to look at and also to learn from in the way that you move while you're doing so. In that, I'll say as leaders, we deal with so much, and yes, we go through it and it gets rough, But when our team sees us get knocked down and they're able to really witness what your comeback looks like when it comes back, that you are so much wiser, you're stronger, and you still are operating full of heart and passion. That's when you, as a leader, really get that buy-in from your team, and your team truly learns what leadership looks like. They learn that it's not perfect, but it's powerful. And in that, I want to continue to really remind you and provide you this challenge and charge. This is the charge for every leader listening right now. Don't just lead people, empower them. Let your leadership be a bridge and not a barrier, a guidepost and not a gatekeeper. Make sure that your team knows daily that they matter, that their voice matters, and that their growth matters, and most importantly, that there's someone on the other side advocating for them daily, and that you are not there just to manage them, you're there invested in them. You're there to coach them, and you're going to be right there learning with them. Because when you grow and you invite others into that process, your impact becomes unstoppable. As I close out, I want to remind you as leaders to walk it like you talk it. I want to leave you with this truth. Leadership is not just about what you do, it's about who you're becoming also in the process. I've always said, it seems I've always grown in leadership. And when I say grown in leadership from early ages, got leadership opportunities and continue to elevate in that. And with that becomes, it has growth. And you can't be the same leader that you started as, that you are now. You want to continue to be a leader with that growth mindset. And so be the kind of leader who doesn't just speak power, but who walks it, lives it, and pours into others. Model that bounce back, model that vision, and model that faith. And remember, your presence alone is empowerment when it's rooted in purpose. Thank you so much for spending this evening with me, this moment with me. I'm very grateful for every listener, every leader, and every heart that's tuned in with me. If this episode spoke to you, please share it. Share it with a friend, share it with a family member, share it with a coworker, or maybe an employee that may need this. And more than that, live it. Let's keep growing, let's keep rising, and let's keep empowering together. This has been Evenings of Empowerment. Until next time, remember to lead with heart, lead with vision, and most of all, lead with love. Have a wonderful evening. Before I let you go, I do want to share some exciting news that I have been invited back to continue my Boost ambassadorship with the Boost Conference. So in that, I want to take a moment to share briefly about the Boost Conference. The Boost Conference was established to provide a leading-edge experience in professional development and serve the niche market of in and out of school time educators while creating a movement to inspire youth, inspire learning, and inspire change. Boost is the largest conference that hosts over 200 workshops, masterclass, keynote speakers, pre-conference academies. They also host a Boost National Town Hall meeting, opportunities to earn college credits and CEUs, and Boost also offers a Boost Film Festival, a Boost Live Podcast Lounge, where I had the opportunity to host this podcast, Evenings of Empowerment, this past year. Boost also has Meet the Author events and over 170 exhibitors, network events, and Tour de Boost, a charity walk giving back to local nonprofits. The Boost Conference convenes more than 3,500 after-school professional educators and leaders in the field of youth development and social service to create dialogue around promising practices, resource development, and creating change for children, youth, families, and communities. Boost is held annually in Palm Springs, California, and this year it'll be April 28th through May 1st, 2006. Feel free to visit their website for more information. Lastly, I want to include that Foundations, Inc., that holds Beyond School Hours in Orlando, Florida this year, is doing a final call for presenters, again at their Beyond School Hour conference. That conference will be located again in Orlando, Florida, and their application closes on August 4th. If you're interested in presenting, please feel free to visit their website. And always in closing, again, thank you so much for joining Evenings of Empowerment. Feel free to visit my website at www.enrichedbyrichmond.com. And if I can be of any support, if you're interested in any leadership coaching, please feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to help at hello@enrichedbyrichmond. Have a wonderful evening. Catch you next time.